Well, hello! Welcome back to my channel. Jashana here to talk about some friggin' book characters. I got it in my little brain that I wanted to do a who is the worst style video regarding characters that I don't like. And like, which one do I hate the most? Which one do I not like the most? Or think is the worst TM? And I wasn't sure how I was going to do this at first. I thought I might try to do a bracket thing, but I don't know. I just ended up deciding I'm just gonna put all their names in a freaking jar and pick them out 2 by 2 and pit them against each other, and whoever like wins a round will get put back in the jar to continue until we get, you know, the winner, aka the loser of who's the worst. And this is all obviously just based on my opinion of these characters. So let's get started. And of course, this also isn't an completely all-inclusive list. I'm sure there's somebody I forgot, but it's about 10 or so people, maybe a little more, who just came to mind initially off the top of my head of like, oh yeah, I hated them. I'm sure I'll think of someone in 2 weeks where I'm like, damn it, I should have put them in the video. First up, Gale from frickin' The Hunger Games, okay? And then Heathcliff from Wuthering Heights. Okay, Heathcliff, if you've read Wuthering Heights, I don't think he needs much of an explanation for being the worst. Wuthering Heights is not a lovely romance. It's just not. It is tragic. It is terrible. These people are toxic as all fuck to each other. Heathcliff being a prime example. Now, he did have some trauma in his childhood and his life was not easy. It's like intergenerational just bullshit. Them just being terrible to each other generation after generation. And he is awful though. He's abusive. He tries to kill a dog at one point. Like, he's unhinged. Gale from The Hunger Games. Gale is one of those characters where he rubbed me the wrong way. And I've reread that series a few times. I think I've read it 3 or 4 times. And even on the first read, the love triangle, which team Gale or team Peeta, I still hold to being more team Katniss by herself than anything. The last time I read it, and I think as I get older, I do appreciate Peeta more. He just adored her and he just doted on her and adored her, and I really appreciate that. Whereas Gale always annoyed me because you had your entire lives to tell this person how you felt. You never did. And then when they go off to go fight and potentially die and come back having gotten with somebody else romantically, or, you know, not gotten with, they didn't have sex or anything, but, you know, in the game, she was doing the whole, like, me and Peeta are in love, and did develop some feelings for him, and Gale was, like, all salty, and I just always thought, dude, what? You guys didn't have a thing. You had a friendship. You had a very close bond and friendship, but I never bought them being romantically involved. And it just screamed to me that Gale only wanted her because all of a sudden now she wasn't an option for him, or he wasn't an option for her, whatever. And it just irked me. I'm like, you don't actually like her, I don't think. I really don't. So I just never bought it. And honestly, I want to say Heathcliff is the worst out of these two as far as if they were real people, Heathcliff absolutely wins for being a worse person. But I'm doing this based on who I liked less, and because to me it's so obvious that Heathcliff is toxic and trash, and at no point am I supposed to like him, I was less annoyed. I'm not annoyed by him while I read the book, whereas Gale annoys me when I read the book. I just think he's what is the word? Superfluous? Superfluous. That's always hard for me to say. He just didn't need to be there. That whole thing didn't need to be there. So I'm going to go with Gale when I go through them all. Okay, 2 more. Chaol from Throne of Glass, and Mahmed from the Conquer Saga, Anti-Darken, etc. I mean, Chaol definitely wins. Mahmed was pretty terrible, in my opinion. He just used Radu. He used him he's kind of a shit, and he's like a liar. Is Kale more annoying? Honestly, though, while I was reading the books, I have to say Mahmed did annoy me more. Because Kale he just annoys me because he's boring. Just one of those characters that's all about the duty and the honor and blah, which is nice. That's nice, and that's good. But it's also boring to read about. It's one of those things where he's more annoying as an afterthought. Like, as I'm finishing a book, I'm just like, ugh, Kale, you're kind of dumb. But Mahmed actively pissed me off while I was reading those books. So, surprisingly, I'm going to go with Mahmed. Yeah, for sure. Okay, this one. Sookie Stackhouse. Oh, Tao! I was going to say she would have to be up against someone really aggressively annoying. And she is. Oh, god damn, I don't know. Tao's from Rage of Dragons, if you don't know. And he's largely the reason I did not enjoy my time with that book. And training sequences and fighting sequences. Like, don't care. Man. Oh, because Sookie, like, I made 2 whole videos. I ranted about her for a solid hour between those 2 videos and why she's the worst. But, like, Tao is just the worst. Like, they're both the worst. Oh, my good God. This is hard. I really was kind of hoping this wouldn't happen so that I could get, like, this. I feel like this would be the end game here. Because Sookie has her moments where Sookie is more obnoxious, okay? But Tao made me actively and actually, like, scream at the book. Like, what the fuck? Oh my God! He's so stupid. Why is this so hard? I legit might have to come back to this. I'm gonna, this is my own little game, so I'm making up the fucking rules as I go. I'm gonna come back to them. I'm gonna set them aside, because I just genuinely can't decide. Gloria and Anthony, at least I think that's their names. When I thought of them, I wrote down the people from The Beautiful and Damned. Or Beautiful and the Damned, or whatever it's called. And then Lycos from Faithful and the Fallen by John Gwynne. Okay, I haven't read that whole series. I've read the first 2 books. And Lycos, and he's just, like, evil and shit all the time. And gross. He's really gross, and he did some pretty unforgivable things regarding taking away agency for a woman and, I mean, sexually assaulting, like raping a woman. And, you know, not fucking cool. Can't fucking stand you. Gloria and Anthony from Beautiful and the Damned were, and that's, you know, just general fiction. I mean, it's classic, but they're living in our real world. It's not fantasy, right? And it's like if you ever met these people in real life, I think everyone would hate them. They're just so greedy and superficial and selfish and just no growth, no emotional maturity, no emotional growth by the end of the book. They're just, I'm so glad that book was a short book. I would have DNF'd it if it wasn't so short because it was painful to read about them. But I have to go with Lycos because he was... While they're selfish and superficial and dumb, I mean, he was, you know, sexual assault and rape, and that's not cool. All right, next. Oops, that is 4. Okay, there's 2. Okay, Barrow, or Biro, I think it's Barrow, from the Greenbone Saga. I think he's going to win this one. Sophia from The Bells. So, Sophia is for me, a very well-written villain. She's a princess, and she is sinister as fuck. She's one of those people, one of those characters where it's unnerving because you don't know what she's going to do. Kind of a monster, honestly. But Barrow is... the fucking worst. In Jade City and Jade War, that's all I'll say. I don't want to give any spoilers for anything, but every time he pops up, I just want to punch him right in the teeth. So I think I'm going to have to go with him. And I think these are the last two for this first round. Lily hears this paper crinkling, and she's sitting here staring. We have Monty from Gentleman's Guide to Vice and Virtue, and Sam Merlot from the Sookie Stackhouse series. Monty definitely wins. Sam annoys me. Oh God, he annoys the fuck out of me. And his story for the end of the series makes me angry. So entitled when it comes to Sookie, but Monty from Gentleman's Guide to Vice and Virtue is one of my most hated characters. Fucking Percy deserved so much better. Monty is such a privileged, ignorant, entitled asshole. And no. So he's going here. Honestly, Sookie and Tao, I think I'm going to do another round with the ones that won from this last round, and I'm going to keep Sookie and Tao to the side, because honestly, I think it's going to come down to them and maybe one other person. Let's see. Should I pick someone from Sookie? Because I can't. I want to have like a top three. Who's pitted against each other now? Gale and Monty. Monty. Yeah, Monty definitely was way more fucking annoying and frustrating and terrible. Just terrible. And who? Oh, I have an odd number. Whoops. Barrow and Mahmed. Barrow. Definitely Barrow. Because Mahmed is terrible a lot of the time, but not all the time. Whereas Barrow is just like the scum of the earth. See, now I have an odd number, though. Why did I do this to myself? Math. What is it? Honestly, I think from these three, who we have? We've got, let's do this top three. Monty, Lycos, and Barrow. Oh, God, they're all pretty bad. Okay, Lycos, honestly, well, because that series has so many fucking characters that you follow, so he's not a huge part of it, even though he's an absolute shitheel, awful person. It's not like he's a third of the book or even 1/5 of the book. So it's less obnoxious, it's less frustrating as a reader because he only has, a couple of chapters. As I'm reading the books, I'm not like as annoyed with him as I'm annoyed with these two motherfuckers. So Barrow and Monty. Monty, the whole book is him. And he is, oh God, he's one of my most, he's definitely in the top 4 of my most hated characters of all time. But Barrow is like a fucking cockroach. And like I said, he's just like the scum of the earth. When you think of that, like someone who's just no integrity whatsoever. He'd sell his mom down the fucking river if it got him ahead in life. That type of person, So he wins. So now, Tao, Sookie, and Barrow being my top 3. It checks out. Who's going to be the top one, though? I don't know if I can pick. I'm not going to lie. Can I pick? Barrow is a cockroach, but Tao, it's like the whole book, and he's just dumb over and over again. But honestly, I hate him. I think I hate him less than Barrow. Yeah, I think so. Tao's dumb. Like, Tao is just dumb. But as far as being the worst, I don't know. I don't think he has, I wouldn't say he has this huge lack of integrity or something like that, I'm going to take Tao out of it, you guys. It's going to be down to Barrow and Sookie. He's definitely in the top 3, though. Don't get me wrong here. So Barrow and Sookie. See, the thing is, Sookie, it's the whole 13 books from this bitch's perspective. And she's so annoying sometimes. But she has her moments where I like her, or she has her neutral moments where she's just going about her life and not doing something problematic as fuck, or not saying something problematic as fuck, or thinking something problematic as fuck. She, it's 13 books. She's not being problematic and annoying literally all the time. It's just, it is a lot, and it's a lot of books. So that's why I had a whole hour to rant about it. But she has her moments. She has her moments where I like how she is, where I see glimpses of things that I enjoy about her as a character. And then, like I said, plenty of neutral, where you're just like, all right, whatever, you're just fucking waiting tables right now and you're being fine. And Barrow doesn't show up as much because there are multiple perspectives in the Greenbone saga, and he's not one of the main characters, but I get like a visceral reaction. I fucking hate him. I think Barrow's the worst. I'm surprised by this. I'm not gonna lie. Like when I was making the list, I kind of in my head was like, I bet it's gonna end up being Tao or maybe Sookie or Monty. And I mean, they're all in the top fucking 4 for sure. But when I think about like my actual reaction as I'm reading, yeah, Barrow is like a fucking cockroach, scum of the earth cockroach that just always pops up and just no integrity, no like morals out the fucking window. Just, they're gone. Non-existent. He fucking wins. He's the worst. Barrow is the worst character of books that I've read, in my opinion. There we go. Winner, winner, chicken dinner. So, hopefully that was a little fun for you guys. See me talk some shit about a few characters that I really don't like. Let me know in the comments, who are some characters that you really don't like? Or did you have some in common with me? As always, thank you so much for your time. Hope you guys have a wonderful day, and I will talk to you later. Bye-bye.